Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jam Vishnupad Brahmhamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtotrashata Shishimat, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki. Jam Vishnupad Brahmhamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtotrashata Shishimat, His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Grantaraj Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhagavatam Ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Oh, glories to Guru Gauranga. Oh, glories to His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki. Jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, so today we will be reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta as well as Śrīmad Bhagavatam. You will find out why. So we are reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 2, verses 66 and 67. So we will read verse 66 and we will repeat together 67. Text 66. Eishlokera arde tumi haila nirvachana ara eka shuna bhagavatera vachana. The import of this verse has stopped you from arguing. Now listen to another verse of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Etecham Shakala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam Grace. Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishna tu bhagavan swayam Indriyarivya lokam lokam Vridayanti yuge yuge Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu bhagavan swayam Indriyarivyakulam lokam Vridayanti yuge yuge Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu bhagavan swayam Indriyarivyakulam lokam Vridayanti yuge yuge. Okay. Ete, these, cha, and, amsha, plenary portions, kala, parts of plenary portions, pumsa, of the Purusha avatars, Krishna, Lord Krishna, tu, but, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam, himself, Indra Ādi, the enemies of Lord Indra, Vyakulam, full of, Lokam, the world, Mridayanti, make happy, Yuge, yuge, at the right time in each age. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. In every age, He protects the world through His different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. Purport. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28 definitely negates the concept that Sri Krishna is an avatara of Vishnu or Narayana. Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the supreme cause of all causes. This verse clearly indicates that incarnations of the personality of Godhead, such as Shri Rama, Narasimha, and Varaha, all undoubtedly belong to the Vishnu group. But all of them are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Shri Radha Govinda Ki Jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Śrī Caitanya-manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakapatarabhischa kripasindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So, those of you who don't know this verse, you just got a homework. That's a verse that it's really nice if you learn this verse. Why? Because Shri Jiva Goswami is explaining that, another of the acharyas, they are explaining that this verse is known as the Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam, or the most important verse from the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because it's establishing the absolute truth, that Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is this absolute truth. And during the ages, there were many disputes and philosophical fights. Who is the absolute truth? Some people are saying that absolute truth is impersonal, it's just energy, power. Some personalities are saying that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Agni, the god of fire, or Shiva, the great destroyer, or Brahmaji, the creator of the world, or Vishnu, the maintainer of the universe. But Srimad Bhagavatam is establishing that, in fact, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everybody else is parts of parts of Krishna. So, for us, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Srimad Bhagavatam is our main pramana. Pramana means proof. When we want to prove something philosophical, this will be the main place from where we are getting our information. That's why in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, it is described how special is this book. For example, there is a verse in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Krishna svadamupagate dharma gyanadibi saha kalau nashta drisham esha puranarko dunoditaha. When Krishna left this world, after staying here for 125 years, and he took with himself dharma gyanadibi, he took with himself the religious principles, knowledge, and everything else. So what will be the thing that will actually give vision, will give life in the life of the people of Kali Yuga? What will be this thing? And this verse is explaining, Kalau nashtadrisha mesha puranargo tunoditaha. So this Bhagavad Purana, which is effulgent like the sun, will give knowledge, will give light in the lives of the misguided people in the age of Kali. And there is another verse at the end of Srimad Bhagavatam which is saying, Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Śrī Bhagavatam-ishyate Tatra Samrita Triptasya Nanyatra Syatra Tikvachit. This Bhagavad Purana, this literature, is the essence of the whole Vedic knowledge. Sarva Vedanta Rasam. The essence, the most important from the whole Vedic knowledge, all the Vedic scriptures is presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Vedanta Rasam hi Śrī Bhagavatam-ishyate Tatra Samrita Triptasya. If someone manage to be satisfied with the juice, with the sweetness of the knowledge of this Bhagavad Purana, Nanyatra Syatra Tikvachit. He will not look for happiness anywhere else. In other words, the rasa, the different mellows or content of our internal senses is so much presented in Srimad Bhagavatam that if one learns to relish this nectar, this juice, he won't look for anything else in any other place. So for us, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this is like the supreme literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Now there are scholars which are not accepting Bhagavatam, neither the Puranas, as a real proof, as a real source of Vedic knowledge. They are saying, no, wait a minute. We have the 4 Vedas. Whatever is written in the Vedas, this is actually the what originally came from Vishnu, from Krishna. And everything else, well, maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know, we are not sure. So we are not accepting these other scriptures. To refute this argument, our acharyas, Jiva Goswami, they are explaining, they are giving interesting example. They are saying, wait a minute, if you have something made from gold, for example, like a bracelet. And you have to repair this bracelet. What kind of metal you're going to use? Gold, of course. You use the same quality metal, otherwise how you're going to repair it? So, giving this example, he's saying, in the same way, if we have supplementary literatures to the Vedic 4 Vedas, what should be their quality? Should be the same as the 4 Vedas, isn't it? Otherwise, how they are supplementing, how they are basically explaining the message of the Vedas if they are with lesser quality. So by giving this example, he's proving that actually the Puranas, the Itihasas, they have the same spiritual value. And also he's quoting, if I remember correctly, he's quoting Chandogya Upanishad, where it is stated that Puranas, Itihasas, these are considered the 5th Veda. So we have 4 Vedas, Sama, Rig, Atharva, and Yajur. But then all other Vedic scriptures, like the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, they are considered the 5th Veda. So their knowledge, the quality of their knowledge is not different from the quality given in the 4 original Vedas. So like that, no doubt, whatever is written in Srimad Bhagavatam is presenting the absolute reality, the absolute truth. And now we had these verses quoted in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, which actually is the most important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Shiva Jiva Goswami is saying that if somewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam or in other place of the Vedic literature we find a verse or knowledge which contradicts this verse, we have to explain it in such a way that it does not contradict to this verse. In other words, the statement if this verse is the supreme, the most important statement in the whole Vedic literature. Namely, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and everyone else is his expansion or avatara or incarnation. Srila Prabhupada, fortunately, wrote a very deep and very beautiful purport to this verse. So, with your permission, I'll just read this purport and we can comment a little bit. But he is saying some very, very deep things in the purport. So please stay with me. Don't go to the dreamland, okay? I'll make sure from time to time. In this particular stanza, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatara means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life to fulfill particular missions. So God regularly appears not only on these planets, but different planets in this universe and other universes. And also he can take different kinds of forms. He can be human-like, or he can take the form of aquatics or beasts. So any kind of form he can take. No matter how his form looks from outside, his form has the same spiritual power. So he'll be still the Almighty. He'll be able to do whatever he likes, whenever he likes. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or his differentiated portions directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at the particular time. So Krishna, he has the whole power completely, 100%. Some of his incarnations also, but because they appear to display particular rasas or relationship with the devotees, they don't manifest everything. They will manifest only some of the opulences of the Lord. And other incarnations, they don't have 100% the power of the Lord. They have, let's say, 95% or 90 or 85%. Only Krishna, he is the supreme manifestation of the personality of Godhead, and in his pastimes he is manifesting all the different opulences. So a little later we can discuss this. Now Srila Prabhupada is giving examples how different avatars, they manifest predominantly specific opulence of the Lord. For example, Lord Parashurama and Lord Narasimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable rising of his eyebrows. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces. Notice, small pieces. He was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Narasimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamadagnya is Parashuram. Ram, Parasha means axe. Ram, who is holding an axe. It's a greatly powerful incarnation of the Lord. Similarly, Jagadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings, powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's, So these two incarnations, they especially represent the strength of the Lord, the power of the Lord. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of the people. So these are especially incarnations that came to make people believers of God. Like, for example, Jesus Christ also. When he came, people that he talked to, many of them, they were not really serious believers. So first he had to make them believe. And then he could explain further spiritual topics. So there are special incarnations of the Lord. They come, they perform certain tasks just to create belief in the people. Yes? Many of the people, they need a miracle to believe in God. Knowledge is not enough for them. They need some special miracle to see. Like, for example, Jesus, he was manifesting many breads and fishes for the people to eat, and then they understood, wow, he's God. He's as powerful as God. Or Varahadev, he appeared when the earth was out of its orbit and fell down in the universal ocean, Garbhodaka. Varahadev appeared and took the earth and brought it back on the surface of the water. So that was something amazing. Well, obviously a great personality can do that. Not everyone can do that. You want to go and try to leave the earth? You want to just go and try and lift some small stone? Let's say, whatever, 500-pound stone. You want to go and lift it? So Varahadev was so powerful, easily lifted the whole earth, no problem. So obviously, okay, this is God. Only He can do such kind of things. Krishna, He manifested all these opulences in His pastimes. That's why He is known as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Give me an example how Krishna manifested His supreme power. Okay, He lifted Govardhan Hill. Great, very nice. Yes, in many occasions Krishna proved how He is amazingly powerful. Like He was a small kid, for example, like a baby, and this great demoness, Putana, came and wanted to kill Krishna, and Krishna easily just took out her life. That was it. Unequal match, but not unequal because Putana was stronger, unequal because Krishna was much, much stronger. So in many, many occasions, Krishna proved that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the strongest. Nobody is stronger than Him. When Krishna was only 10 years old, He left and He went to Mathura. There was organized a wrestling match there. And there were professional wrestlers. Chanura, Mushtika, these were heavy people. Like, imagine someone like, I don't know, who are the modern ones? I don't know the modern ones, but let's say Mike Tyson or Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever, Sylvester Stallone. I mean, most probably you don't know these guys, but anyway, serious professional fighters, and they go and fight against 10 years old kid. What do you expect? Obviously, like, I mean, even it won't be interesting. Like, not an equal match. But still, Krishna was so powerful, He was beating them so heavily, gradually they started losing their strength more and more and more, and at the end they were finished. Easily, Krishna defeated them. What to speak of these great wrestlers? Before that, they tried to kill Krishna by bringing a huge elephant, a war elephant. They wanted him to kill Krishna. What did Krishna do? Took him for the tail, and started bringing him with himself. And the elephant couldn't do anything. Helpless. So He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the most powerful. Yes. Aghasura also. Huge snake. Maybe we have to say dragon, so that we can imagine. Huge creature. Krishna just went apparently in Aghasura and started expanding Himself. And he became so big that Aghasura couldn't breathe anymore. And that was it. The end. So the most powerful. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed His fame. So Lord Ramachandra was extremely famous. So famous that even nowadays in India, there are people, a political party, Ram Raja, they want to create a kingdom as the kingdom of Lord Rama, which was existing, I don't know how many thousands of years. So still His fame as the perfect ruler, the perfect king, is there. And people, they want to follow in His footsteps. And Balaram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited His beauty. So these are incarnations that they show the special beauty of Krishna. And still, Krishna is the most beautiful. Nobody is more beautiful than Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is saying Krishna in his form of Shyama, Sundara, he is the most beautiful representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody is more beautiful than him. Vishnu is also extremely beautiful, and still, the last time we were talking that the wife of Vishnu, Lakshmi Devi, she tried to perform very severe austerities and penances so that she become qualified to enter into the pastimes of Krishna. And still she was not successful. So why you are going to perform austerities to enter into something which is lower? You don't do that. You perform austerities to get something which is higher, yes? For example, you have a job and now you want a better job, okay, then you put more endeavors to get the better job. If you want a worse job, why you have to do something extra? No, it's very easy. You can immediately go and get the worse job. So it proves that the pastimes of Krishna, they are actually higher grade pastimes than the pastimes in the Vaikuntha planes, the pastimes of Vishnu. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Narayana Rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord indirectly or directly manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead. And thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Shri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relays these transcendental pastimes in 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord's pastimes with the gopis, Bhagavatam promotes the students gradually in 9 other cantos. There is an interesting story. It's described in one of the Upanishads, Gopal Tapani Upanishad. So the gopis, they want to go and bring food to one great sage. His name is Durvasa Muni. And they have to cross Yamuna. But there was no boats, and they didn't know what to do. And then they were in this difficult situation, carrying all these milk products and sweets that they prepare for the pleasure of Durvasa Muni. And then Krishna saw them in this situation, and he said, "What is the problem?" They said, "Well, we cannot cross Yamuna to go to give all these nice sweets and milk preparations to Durvasa." And Krishna said, "Oh, that's very easy to solve. No problem. Just go to Yamuna and tell her, in the name of Krishna, who is the greatest brahmachari, please make a road for us." And like the gopis, they were like, "You're the greatest brahmachari? I mean, you're hanging us with us during the night. How you are a brahmachari? A brahmachari is someone, he doesn't have anything to do with ladies. How you are a brahmachari?" He said, "Just go and do it, don't worry. If it's true, Yamuna will do whatever you want." And then they went and they sat, and suddenly Yamuna make a passage for them. And they crossed on the other side, and they went to Durvasa, gave him all the sweets, and Durvasa ate all these sweets. And he was extremely satisfied, gave blessings to the gopis. And they said, "Okay, thank you very much, dear sage, but now we have a problem. Now we cannot go back." He said, "No problem. That's very easy to solve. Just go to Yamuna and tell Yamuna, in the name of Durvasa Muni, who is eating only grass, just open your waters and allow us to go. And the gopis, they were completely bewildered, and they said, wait a minute, like, it was enough. Krishna told us that he is the greatest brahmachari, and Yamuna made a path for us. Now you are telling us you are eating just grass. I mean, you just ate all the sweets that we brought you. What do you mean you are eating only grass? And then Durvasa Muni said, okay, we will need some explanation here. And he spoke this Upanishad, explaining the nature of Krishna. How Krishna, he is the supreme brahmachari. Why? Because there is no selfishness in Krishna. Everything belongs to him. All the energies belongs to Krishna. So everything he is doing is right. He is never violating any religious principles. Sometimes in India you may meet people that are saying, I don't want to worship Krishna. I want to worship only Ram. Because Ram, he is personification of all the religious principles. He was very, very strict in following Dharma, religious principles, moral codes of behavior. Krishna, he is constantly doing some mischief. He is stealing, he is cheating, during night he is going with the wives of others. No, I don't want to worship Krishna. So this shows that actually these people, they have very poor fund of knowledge. They actually don't know the real nature of Krishna. Krishna is not just an ordinary boy that hangs out with girls at night. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever Krishna is doing, he is not doing it for personal benefit. He is Atma Rama. He is completely fulfilled within himself. Whatever he is doing it only to reciprocate with the desires of the living entities, with his devotees. So that's why he is the Supreme Brahmachari. Because there is no any desire in his heart for exploiting someone else for his personal benefit. And then Durvasa Muni explained the same for himself. Because I am completely situated on a transcendental platform, although it may look that I am eating so many things, but no, actually for me there is no difference between grass and sweets because I am on a Brahman platform. So don't worry, Yamuna will allow you to pass by. And it happened, it worked out. So it just proves that Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The summum bonum, okay, we just go a little bit down. The summum bonum, Krishna, is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions and particles as Svayam Rupa, Svayam Prakash, Tatekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and the Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. So all these are different manifestations of the Lord. In the beginning of the creation, only Krishna was existing. But then he desired to create variety, and he created all different manifestations from himself, including the Jivas. Who are the Jivas? Yes, we are the Jivas. We are also parts and parcels of Krishna. And qualitatively, we are the same as Krishna. But as a measurement, quantitatively, we are not. He is great and we are very, very tiny, very small. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of these attributes. But Shri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes 100%. And his personal expansions such as Svayam Prakash and Tat Ekatma, up to the categories of the avatars who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess of up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. So even Vishnu Tattva, Vishnu does not possess 100% of the power of Krishna. Up to how many? 90? Yes, 60 qualities of 64 qualities, so 93%. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor avesha, nor in between them, possess almost 84% of the attributes. Or how many qualities? 50? 54, 55, yeah, 54. But the jivas, the living entities like us, the individual living beings, in different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes, or 50 of the qualities of the Lord. 50 of 64 qualities. In the conditioned state of the material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. So, in other words, if the living being is more and more and more pious, it comes closer to 78%. If it's less pious, less and less and less than 78%. So the more we live in a good way, in a pious way, the more we become personifications of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We manifest His qualities, His good qualities. And the more we do impious activities, we lose these qualities, these pious qualities. The most perfect of the living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of the universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become Brahma in due course. The godly living beings, who are all residents of the planets in the spiritual sky, are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridam and Maheshdam. In other words, in the spiritual world, there are different places. And according to the piety and according to the desire for reciprocation with the Lord or a certain form of the Lord, you go to a certain place. Like, for example, here, if you want to do a certain job, you may find which is the best place to go and do this job. So certain places may be the most convenient places for certain kind of jobs. So in the same way, in the spiritual world, according to the service or activities you want to perform for the pleasure of Krishna, you may go to a different destination, different place, according to the reciprocation you want to have with Krishna. The abode of Lord Krishna, above all spiritual planets, is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. And the perfected living beings, by developing 78% of the abode attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. So if we become perfect in our service to Krishna, we can transcend this material world and we can go back to the spiritual world. Why someone would want to go there and not stay here? Well, because spiritual world is, in a sense, like this world, but without the all bad features. So it's actually very nice to go there. For example, here we work so hard to create some facilities. Like, for example, you work 30 years to pay the mortgage of your house, and you have a house, and after 5 years you have to die. And you have to leave your house behind. In the spiritual world, when you have a house, you have it. That's it. Nobody can take it for you. And you have it eternally. In the spiritual world, if you have a family, whatever, mother, father, a husband or a wife, kids, you are eternally together. No need to separate. In the material world, even the greatest relationships, they have beginning and they have an end. Sometimes it's given the example as the two sticks which are flowing downstream in the river, and at some point they come together, and then next moment they separate and they go in different directions. But in the spiritual world, you can stay with the people that you love eternally. You'll be never separated. So, spiritual world, you have everything good that you may want to have in this world, but you don't have anything bad. So it's actually a very good deal. It's nice to go there. In one purport, Śrīla Prabhupada is saying, actually we have to be very, very, very enthusiastic to go back to the spiritual world. So this is what we are trying to do by discussing these spiritual topics. So anyway, that was the purport of Śrīla Prabhupada, and he, in a very nice way, explained how from all the different manifestations of the absolute reality, Krishna is the supreme. Also today is a special day, disappearance day of Shiva's Acharya. Shiva's Acharya is Narada Muni, the great sage Narada Muni, who comes to take part in the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. And his life is very interesting. One day he went to an astrologer, and the astrologer told him, oh, you know what? I see something very, very bad in your chart. Actually, exactly after 1 year, on this and this day, in this particular time, you will die. Sorry for the bad news, but I mean, this is what the chart is showing. And he became so disturbed by this, and he was wondering what to do, and he decided, okay, I'll make a special arrangement so that I don't die. And then, exactly on this day, after 1 year, he locked himself completely within his room. He said, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything, I will just wait for inauspicious moment to pass. Hopefully that, okay, in this way he will escape the death. What actually happened is that when this moment came, suddenly he felt that he's getting suffocated, he cannot breathe. And he didn't know what to do, he became more and more panicked, and he just ran to the balcony, opened the door, and he wanted to get just a little bit fresh air, and suddenly he fell down from the balcony, and he started falling down, and suddenly someone caught him, very gently caught him, and put him very nicely, very softly on the ground. And he came to his senses, and he was like, what's happening here? Like, wow, I'm living a second life. I have a second chance. Okay, he decided, let me just go and read some Shastra, because this is the most important thing to do. Let me become spiritual now. I was just about to die, and now I have a second chance. Okay, let me do something spiritual. So he opened one sacred book, sacred text, and he read a verse. And what was the verse he read? Do you know? He read a very, very famous verse that all of you know, but you don't know. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalau nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva gatiranyatha. This verse is explaining that the most important thing for someone to do in this age of Kali is to chant the holy names of the Lord. And this is the sublime and the easiest and greatest way to make spiritual advancement. And no other spiritual process is working. And then he decided, wow, okay, if this is so, let me put it into practice. And he started making every night kirtan in his house. And we know that later Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu joined these kirtans. And they would do kirtan in the house of Shivas Thakur every single night. But they'll keep the door closed. So only few of the really close associates of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are present on these kirtans. And these were special kirtans. These were very, very, very special kirtans. And they would continue a whole night. They would start in the evening, whatever, 6, 7 o'clock. And the kirtan will go on and go on and go on, and suddenly someone will see that outside there is already light. And he'll say, hey, night is over. And then they'll just disperse, and everyone will go to perform their morning duties as a spiritual people, as a brahmanas. And then somehow or other they'll just go through the day, and they'll be waiting for the night to come. And they'll do the same thing again. And this lasted for 1 whole year. So practically, the close associate of Mahaprabhu, they did not sleep for 1 whole year. There was only kirtan, kirtan, kirtan. And Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu performed so many miracles at that time. This place is called Shiva Sangam. It's very close to the birthplace of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. One time, devotees, they became so tired after the kirtan, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu asked them, what would you like to eat? And they said, oh, it will be so nice to have some refreshing mangoes. But now it's not the mango season, so we cannot have them. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, just watch. And he took a seed of a mango, and he went to the courtyard and just put it in the ground. And just for a second, there was a tree coming out. And this tree, just for a second, became full with fully ripe mangoes. And these were very, very special mangoes. They were not ordinary mangoes. They were so special that they didn't have any skin, and they didn't have, how you call this, the internal part? Seed. Yeah, seed. They didn't have seed, they didn't have any skin. So you could just take the mango and it's already like melting in your hands and just eat it. And devotees, they ate so much. So Mahaprabhu, he was performing all kinds of pastimes like that. So all these things, they happen in the house of Srivas Thakur. Srivas, he was one of the really dear associates of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. One time, Mahaprabhu went to Srivas Thakur and said, Srivas, you are a family man. You have a wife, you have kids, you have animals. You have to take care of so many personalities. You are not working. Whole day you are chanting the holy name. How is that? How you are surviving? He said, my dear Lord, my secret is very, very simple. What is that? If I miss something in my household life, I just go in front of the altar of Krishna and I just clap my hands. Mahaprabhu said, I don't understand. Can you explain? Yes, I just go and I ask Krishna to provide whatever I need. And if it doesn't happen, I go next day also. And then if it doesn't happen again, I go to Krishna and I say, okay, Krishna, that means you don't want me to live. Okay, then I'll go and I'll jump in Ganges. And when Mahaprabhu said this, he said, no, Srivas, relax. Nothing will miss in your life. Everything you need, it will be immediately provided. Take my word, I promise this. So he was very, very dear associate of the Lord and very special personality. There are many other stories, but maybe we will leave them for another day, another time. I think we shouldn't take questions, just we'll stop here. And if you have some questions, you can just come here and we can discuss them. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Grantara Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi.